Okay, we'll do this again next time, Wayne.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no problem, Ruby.
Or
No
even now,
problem.
we're live, so go ahead. Hi, hello everybody. We're trying to work out some technical issues. Ruby and I were sitting here chatting a while ago, and my screen went black. She said my voice went crazy, then I froze, and then she was by herself. Well, that's because the internet. It is windy here in northern Kentucky, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I lost everything. Had to reboot. But we're here, and I've got my friends, both of them, Wayne and Ruby. They're
Good
both
evening.
here. Guys, it is good to have you all with me, and we've got a good group in the chat already, it looks like. So I'm going to throw you guys back in the background and explain what we're doing, and then one of you can read off our participants. Uh, I've got a piece of pear. Some neighbors on the next little street over, um, they were had a pear tree fall over. I asked, "Can I come help you cut it up?" I just concerned about helping them get it cut up. Really, I get over there and it's a sizable pear tree. This is an ornamental pear. Does not have fruit on it. Does have smelly flowers in the spring. They're pretty. They're white, and but here in Kentucky, it's become an invasive species. They grow everywhere. Our interstates are just lined with them, but they break and they fall. And so the ones that are in people's lawns, as they are breaking, people are not being able to uh, replace them. Anyway, I went over, helped them cut it up. I asked if I could have a few pieces. He says, "I'm going to burn it all anyway, so take all of it you want." So I've got a stack of it. This was literally destined for firewood. This piece, um, I had cut it, brought it home. I split it in half, did not seal it. So I do have some checks on the ends, as you can see. I have trimmed this off on the bandsaw. In fact, no, I didn't. I split this in half with the chainsaw. But I cut the ends off, hoping I would eliminate those cracks, and I eliminated a lot of them. But anyway, we're going to take this piece of firewood, turn it into something. I hope it's worth watching. So as I get started, one of you guys want to go ahead and read off our list?
I'll let you go, Wayne.
Okay.
Because
Chicken.
okay, tell me if you lose my voice.
Oh, we
No,
got you.
no, you're still there. You're still there. You're still there.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Right. At the moment, there's not many people in. We've got Andy from Door 60. We've got Haley. We've got Dale, Old Man River, and we've got Thomas Kenny. Unless my YouTube isn't up to date. No, that's I've just
You say
refreshed it.
Gerard?
No, don't have Gerard there.
I do.
All right.
I do.
Let's see.
Right,
There
let's
we go.
just.
JP Wordwork, Vinny Charlton, Dor, Gerard, Todd, Dale,
I'm
Fred,
not getting any of them.
Chris. I've got a bunch of folks. I don't know where you're at, Wayne. All right, I'm turning my speed down as I get started. We're clear. Everything's
Are
going in
you in
good shape.
reverse?
I am.
No, what I've done is that he's already got his he told us he's already got his link out for next week.
You're looking at next week's, aren't you?
I'm looking at next week's.
Oh, me. Let's see. Just as I put tool to the wood, I remember I need one of these on my face.
Now, I have a question for you, Doug.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this going to be like a bowl?
It is, but
Okay,
it's going to be a natural edge banana shaped bowl.
okay, wouldn't you want the tenon to be on the other side? Because it already curves that way?
Right, I'm going to go back to the beginning
There we
again
go.
and start again.
No, that's going to be my top. It's going to be a natural edge, kind of a banana shape.
Okay. Go for
Yeah,
it.
that's going to be. I understand what you're saying. If that was going to be a natural or normal round bowl, I would do exactly what you were saying. Let that rounded shape be the
All right,
bottom.
we'd better let Wayne introduce all the folks watching.
Yeah, we've got Andrew. I'm doing it from the participants list, so this is going to be alphabetical now. So we've got AGK Woodworks. We've got Al Dawson, Benjamin, Chris Walters, Clint at Wood Dancers, Andy Door 60, Fred Gulliver, Gerard. I always forget his name, Henry. I think that's Lawrence.
Larry, yeah.
James Crawford, obviously Jamie's here, Judy Carter, Rob from Klingspor, Martin Ford, Norman Greenwell, Old Man River Wood Turner, Paul Hayden. Oh, Paula's in. Evening, Paula. Paula's my little sister, by the way.
Hey,
Oh, well,
Paula.
hi, Paula.
Ronald Todd, Thomas Kenny, Todd at Glen Cove, Vinnie Charlton, and Haley Woodenburl.
Hey,
Well,
Haley.
welcome, everyone.
Glad to have all of you with us today. This is a. Some of you were in the chat yesterday at lunchtime with Paul, and I've kind of put it as a poll what you wanted to see, and the only votes we got were for this piece.
Okay.
I think my other option was for a box. I need to do some boxes anyway. But I need to do some of these too. So.
Oh, Wayne,
So-
you left Jim Selby out.
Oh, sorry, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Now, Todd at Glen Cove says Wayne is way behind. I wasn't way behind. I was way in front. I was into next week.
Next week.
And Jason Leveron has joined us.
Hey, Jason.
Ronald Todd is reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up.
And Susie,
Thank you,
the
Ron.
Swiss Wood Turner, has joined us. Hi, Sue.
Hey,
Nice.
Susie.
Yeah, Haley went on to next week's as well, so I wasn't the only one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes you feel better, doesn't it?
Now, Jamie is saying that he's doing the turning on cartoons this weekend while Jake's at the Make-A-Wish car show.
Oh, nice one.
And he
That ought
thinks
to be
it's
a fun.
going to be fun.
Ben's asking what type of banana, Doug? Is it like a banana milkshake or a banana split?
Actually, it's a pear milkshake this time.
It's one of those odd bananas. It's a pear banana.
Yeah, I don't know if it's mentioned, but Jason Leveron's just come in. Mick Hughes
Yeah.
is in.
Hey, Mick. Glad my sandpaper's safe.
And Chris
Gerard.
Walters is asking how it's going, and it's going well for me. How about you?
Gerard has said that he's felt strange today. He took the bus for the first time with his travel pass and said to myself, now I'm an old age pensioner.
That's what AOP stands for.
All right, that doesn't look too bad for a tenon.
And Jamie's asking, if you colour it, would it be a banana in pajamas?
It could be.
That's a good question. And Jennifer's Craft and Creations has joined us. Welcome,
Evening,
Jen.
Jennifer.
Let's see. I like to make a little bit of a decision here. Do I want the tenon to be the foot, or do I want a different foot, or do I want no foot? And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the tenon my foot.
Now, Mick Hughes is saying to Rob, have you sorted my free stuff for New Week yet? I'd say you've got two hopes on that, Mick. Bob and none.
Oh, dear. It'd be almost worth my flying over just to see that.
All right, I like what I got there. Okay. Now it's a matter of getting shape on the outside here. These are always a lot of fun because it's not going to end up round. It's going to end up oblong.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a bit of air cutting as you're going around. You can see I've still got natural here. I don't have the bark. The bark was starting to come off, so I went ahead and shaved it off. Shaved it off. I used a screwdriver and a hammer. That's shaving, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really bothered if the bark stays on or not when I'm doing them.
No, I don't worry about it either.
A lot of people do.
If it's going to come off, let it come off and just be done with it. Chris Walters says he's going to try to work on a natural edge. Um,
And Zed's just come in.
Hey, Zed.
on a natural edge walnut bowl.
Zed, have you got a premiere this evening?
And Mick said, oh, now Rob replied to Mick that you can have our young tech guy who will be with him. He eats a lot and drinks a lot, but he is house trained.
Well, thank goodness for that.
And Mick has said, Rob, I'd hate to use Merger because of a lack of supplies. Yeah, and you'll have to pay full price.
Now, Ronald's pointed out that your shavings seem to indicate it's cutting quite nicely.
It is. Pear does. When you got solid wood, pear cuts beautifully. You really can't see it's a little washed out, but that is smooth right there. But I've still got a flat. There you go. Well, yeah, right there you can see there's a flat right there that I've got to get rid of. It's on
Yeah.
both ends, so I'm pretty well centered, but I've got to get rid of that flat.
Yeah,
Now,
now
Bert's Bowl says that if the bark comes off, he likes to burn the top edge, and
Yeah.
I tend to do the same thing.
Yeah. And Martin Ford is asking, sorry, Doug, he wasn't paying enough attention at the start. When did the tree come down, and is the wood wet or dry?
The wood is very dry. The tree came down almost 2 years ago now. It's been sitting, I've had it cut up, and it's sitting right outside the back door of my shop here. I've got a door that leads right out into the yard. It's been sitting on a pallet out there ever since. I usually bring in 2 or 3 pieces at a time so that the water moisture can kind of dry out of it here in the basement. My shop here is in a basement, and so it's somewhat climate controlled here.
Now, Jamie is asking if anyone knows why they call it a banana bowl, because usually it's used to hold apples. I think because it ends up an oblong shape.
Well, an oval.
Yeah, an oval.
And Douglas Mungham's in, and he's saying hi to everybody. Hope
Hi,
you're all
Doug.
doing well. He's just watching. He's not up to much else. His ticket has got him a bit worried. Hope everything's okay, Douglas.
Take it easy, Doug.
Oh. Zed started with the dad jokes.
Surely not.
Yeah.
Zed tell a dad joke?
Go ahead, Wayne.
Do I have to?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go on.
What do you call it when the dentist pulls the wrong tooth?
Oh.
Accidental.
Shakes head in disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy's just come in. Good evening, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
And Mike, Dances with Aardvarks, has just come in as well.
Hi, Mike. Well, Zed told that joke mainly for Lucy because she knows a good comedy when she hears it. I think that was a backhanded slap in our face.
Really taking my time on those wings so I don't have to sand as much. They have this tendency of getting really funny little ridges along them, right at the very worst spot they possibly can. At least they do for me. But you're right. What'd they say this time?
No, there was Jimmy this time.
Uh-oh.
He said he watched a show about a woman from the West Midlands who went to bed with a headache and woke up with a thick Geordie accent. And then he said, I had a headache last night and I didn't want to go to sleep. Lol.
Mm,
Now, Ron makes a good point. The longer the piece of wood, the more pronounced the banana shape.
yes,
Oh,
that's
definitely.
true.
When I cut those pieces, I tend to make them 1.5 times the length of their diameter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
Andy, the Valley Woodturner, has just come in. And Todd at Glen Cove has said, Zed thought his chiropractor wasn't any good, but now he stands corrected.
Ah,
Good point. Good point.
And Ward's in. Evening, Ward.
I
was
wondered,
always
Andy.
And
I was
Andy
very
Wivy Woodshed's in as well.
all right. Glad to have everybody. I was always quite skeptical of chiropractics, and then I was having an issue with a sharp pain starting in my hip and running down my leg,
Hmm.
and my mother kept saying, "Why don't you go to my chiropractor? Let me set you up. Let me set you up." And finally, it got where I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, um, and I was needing to do both. So I finally said, "Okay, go ahead and set me up, and I'll go." And it turned out my insurance would take care of the biggest part of it. And he laid me down on a table after we talked a bit about what my problem was. Laid me down on that table and he picked up my right leg, which was not the problem. And he held my heel and tapped my toe. He says, "What'd you feel?" I said, "Nothing." "Very good." He sets that leg down and picks up my left leg by the heel and taps my toe. And I about came off that table, I'm telling you. It did not feel good. He said, "That's what I thought. You got a sciatic nerve issue."
I'm going through that problem now. In fact, I had therapy this morning.
Did you really?
Yep. And mine all started from a torn muscle in my upper back.
Yes, it can. You overcompensate, and there you go.
Yeah, we've had another couple of people come in. Barry Chitty's just come in.
Hey,
Hi,
Barry.
Barry.
And who else came in? Somebody. Oh, Woodworm Paul is in as well.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
And Robert Klingspor has said that he has a nerve issue. He says his boss is getting on me nerves.
I could do this with the drill and probably be a little bit faster, but some of this I know I'm going to need to just do like this, just hand sand up on these wings. Throw it across the shop. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. And then go and try and find it.
Yep. Well, I was smart enough this time. I watched it, so I knew where it was. Sometimes I don't watch it. I just get frustrated and I go stomping off trying to find it.
Now you know why that happens, don't you?
What's that?
Well, that's just God's way of making you have to exercise and bend over.
I don't know. Maybe.
I do it an awful lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll watch that later, Jamie. Jamie's just sent us the link to that TV show thing.
All right. I'm going to go on from there. I'll probably be coming back and revisiting the sanding part of this later. But you could see, and a couple of folks have mentioned it, one of the reasons I like to turn pears is because even dry, it cuts very, very nicely.
Yes.
I'm going to back up. I've got some deep spots there that I don't like. So we're going back all the way back up. I'm going to get the drill and we're going to go at it in earnest.
Now Gerard's wife has to go for pain management specialist every 4 months for an injection because of her back and sciatic problems. Well, she
Oh, my
has my
goodness.
condolences. Wayne, did you give something for free to Mick?
No, he's expecting to win it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You had me worried there.
no, I've got some bad news for him. I'm not even putting his name on the list. No, tomorrow night I am doing. I started the giveaway at the beginning of the month, which is for a Dremel 8240. Platinum edition, comes in a lovely case and everything with accessories, and it is the winner's getting drawn tomorrow night. I'm afraid it's only open to people in the UK.
I'm not happy about that either.
Yeah, well, I can't afford the postage.
Well, I would think if Doug or I won, we'd be happy to pay the postage.
I don't think you would.
It'd be cheaper than buying the tool.
No, I don't think it would be.
Well, in fact, the tool is not available here, I don't think.
Dremels are available over here.
Dremels are, but that particular one is not. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is.
If anybody hasn't entered for tomorrow night, what you need to do is go back to on my live or on my channel, go back, look through the videos towards the beginning of February, and I'm sure that the title mentions a giveaway. Go into that, watch the video, make a comment, and mention Dremel 8240 in the comments. You have to be a subscriber. It is only for people in the UK.
And Jim Selby says that model isn't available over here after all.
No, it's a new model.
Yeah.
It hasn't been out that long.
And Ward makes a good point. The plug for over there would be different than over here.
Yeah, and I'm sure that at the moment they're probably only making it in 240 volts anyway. In fact, no, yeah, the charging unit needs to be plugged into a 240 volt.
Well, I have 240 because 2 of my lathes are 240. So's my table saw. And Zed wants to know if you've heard of that horrific disease going around that forces people to make bad puns. They're calling it Dadly virus.
It's a bad disease, that's for sure. All right, that's got the bottom done, except for one thing. I want to make one little...
Jim Selby is saying the model is available, but not with that case and accessories.
Ah, okay.
Now, Andrew, after I pronounce the winner tomorrow night on Andrew's premiere, which will be at 9:30 tomorrow night. He is going to be starting his giveaway for the 8240.
And okay, if I'm not mistaken, Jigsy's gonna give one away too, isn't he?
His has already started.
Yeah.
Now, how does this Dremel differ from the old model?
Right. Well, again, it's a cordless, and there's a number of different cordless models out at the moment. But I think this one's a bit more powerful. It's got a brushless motor.
Okay.
Let's have a quick look.
Got the Bluetooth connection, doesn't it? So it can.
Well, the 8260 has the Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
And Jamie says, and me, as soon as everyone else's is over.
And
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, Jamie, you'll be having a giveaway as well.
And Ben wants to know, why are you guys giving them away? Aren't they any good?
Right. No, the reason why we are giving them away, it's a new unit, and there's various people in the maker community who are actually sponsored by Dremel. So seeing as how this is a new unit, Dremel have been in touch with all of us and basically said, do a giveaway, promote it, and we'll give you one to give away.
Well, Rob's pointed out that all the cool people own one. So I guess I'm not going to be a cool person.
Yeah, that chuck will work.
Technical specs.
That certainly became smaller than it started out.
What's that? The wood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I made it round.
Yeah, it's high powered, very versatile. Comfortable rubber, soft grip. The battery is 12 volt, 2 amp hour. Advanced technology for optimum battery life. It's a pretty cool tool. But I don't think this one, I'm pretty certain this one doesn't have the
Okay.
the Bluetooth. I think it's the
Bluetooth
82. Yeah, it's the 8260 that's got the Bluetooth.
To Ruby's question, it should not be, but maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch shorter this way than it was.
Okay.
Because I came up, all I did was eliminate the flats that were on the ends. So I should be within a 1/2 inch anyway. But it looks a lot smaller.
And yes, Jamie, that is one of the tests on the RPT.
What's that? I missed that.
When you take wood away, it gets smaller.
It doesn't get any bigger.
I was saying to Doug before he started last night, the RPT did a 2-hour presentation on pricing your wood turnings. And it was very interesting. It was presented by a person who basically coaches crafters in that exact area, determining their costs and what they should charge, and it was quite interesting.
I think we're going to have a discussion about that in the Wood Turning 360 Club in a few weeks. It was supposed to be last week, but we got sidetracked into other subjects.
Hmm.
All right, I'm going to get rid of my tailstock off the lathe. I'm bumping my arm into it.
As Zed points out, it's a lot easier to take wood away than it is to put it back.
No, you just turn in reverse and it goes back straight on, no problem.
I've seen that happen on some lives.
I think it was, oh God, who was it? It wasn't, it might have been Ernie Conover. I did a video on that.
Now, Al asks a really good question. What does Bluetooth have to do with a Dremel tool?
Right, what you do is that you get an app for your phone. That links you into the Dremel website, and basically you type in what type of material you're going to be using the Dremel for, whether it's wood, metal, whatever. If you're doing carving, if you're doing cutting, if you're doing sanding, and things like this, and the app will come up and tell you the best cutter to use to finish off the piece that you're doing.
That's interesting. Now, Gerard says that Cindy Drozda did a piece where the inside was bigger than the outside.
I've done a few of them.
I've done a few. What I'm doing here is I'm working back along the wood, trying to find my final rim size, but I don't want to go all the way because I don't want the edges to be flexible.
Have you still got the cracks in the edges there, Doug?
I think I do.
Yeah.
I'm sure I do.
Yeah, so
That'll make them even more flexible.
There's
oh,
one
definitely.
there and one there. Well, this one's not as big. This is the one that was terrible, and it's not bad now. I'm almost at where I want to be as far as thickness goes.
Yeah, I'm not one of these fans of going down to where it's so thick you can almost see through it. I'd rather be thick enough to hold together if you drop it.
Right.
I certainly wouldn't go very, very thin with dry wood because it doesn't tend to take it. But I like doing it with wet wood just to practice tool control.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that when it does dry out, it then becomes very fragile.
It
Yeah.
can. Yeah, I got to go a little deeper because I've got whatever that is. That is on the ends. It's dead on a quarter of an inch, and I'm almost half an inch here on this side. So I got to go take the side. And that doesn't mean I have to go in from the long end. What I need to do is go straight down deep enough where I catch that. So, plus it needs some cleaning up anyway. It's pretty rough. A nice light shearing cut going down through there. Remembering to go deep enough that I catch that side.
Now, Ron says he uses the same equation as you do, Doug, for pricing bowls. Width times height times 2.5.
Right. That's a good beginning place to start, and at least it gives you an idea. And when you're just starting, maybe only going 2 instead of 2.5. Then as you get better with your finishes, better with your final cuts, all of those things, then you raise it on up to 2.5.
What a lot of people tend to forget about, and to me, it's the main thing that you should be thinking about, is profit.
Yes, you got to figure that in. Okay, I'm right at it. So we're going to take some more of this weight out of the center part. And that'll give me some room to work down into the center some more.
That's why I like doing my commercial turning for our local wood mill. He sets the prices ahead of time, and I just take what he gives me. Usually he gets it all back when I buy wood, though.
Now, what am I? I'm hitting something. It may be the heel of my tool. I think it is. Well, yeah, there's a hard spot right down in there that I'm hitting.
Sorry, Doug.
You're fine. You're fine.
Jamie says that Wayne has more pieces of his work on display in his house than he has.
Yes. Now, I remember when most of those came to your house, Jamie. Wayne would be getting along, doing a really nice piece, and Jamie say, "Practice piece, $5."
Practice piece.
Well, £5 wasn't $5. And sometimes Wayne would
The other
say, "Okay."
again on pricing, things that people tend to forget again is the price of the wood, the wear and tear on the lathes, the wear and tear on the tools, the price of electricity, the price of your consumables, your waxes, your abrasives, things like this. Your time. You've got to put in your time as well for how long it takes to do the turning, and then add profit on at the end.
Here's a question for you, Wayne, and I'm not arguing with you at all. I agree with you. How does a relatively new turner figure their time as compared to an experienced turner? And my example for that would be you turning this particular bowl that I'm turning would do it in about half the time that I'm going to take. Even though I'm not going to take long, but you could do it in half an hour or less.
I've got to say that only comes with experience and practice. But the annoying thing is you will find people who have maybe been turning a couple of years, getting quite proficient at it, doing craft fairs and things like this, and they are selling their pieces for just over the price of what the wood cost, which isn't taking into account anything. Plus, it's actually putting down people who sell wood turning to make a living out of selling wood turning.
Right.
True.
But I was getting at the time issue. A new turner, a newer turner, for a piece like this may take half a day, maybe a whole day.
Yes.
Where I'm going to turn this in an hour or less, you would turn it in 30 minutes.
No, right. I might do that on a live. If I'm making a piece to sell, it takes longer than what I usually do on a live because the finish tends to be better. The finishing cuts tend to be better.
Yeah. More sanding and the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, as everybody knows, my lives are for entertainment. Which is why I have the usual earworms on all the time. It is more that my lives tend to be more about what's going on in the chat than what I'm actually doing, unless people are asking relevant questions. Whereas if I'm out in the workshop, which I've got to be starting probably Monday, I'm going to have to be out in the workshop every day for a good few hours a day to get some stock ready for a shop that's opening at the end of March.
A lot of people are saying they've got pieces of yours, Wayne.
Yeah, there's quite a few have.
I tried hard to get one of your pieces.
Yeah, I think Ward got his in a I'm sure it was an auction. I think Ward might have got his. I can't remember now.
That's where I tried to get one. The bidding jumped up so fast, there was no way I was out of it quickly.
Yeah, as Ron has pointed out, the price of a good finish has gone way up, like $30 a quart or more.
Yeah.
It really has.
And Clint says he got a letter from the Texas chapter of Institute of Classical Architecture and Art thanking him for his contribution. He donated a colored live edge ash bowl and it sold for $250 at auction.
Nice one. Nice one.
Very nice.
Well
Very
done.
nice. I'm about to send a piece to Art Giving Hope, which will be a charity auction kind of thing. The last one I did was a neat piece, had a nice void in the side of it. When they asked me what I would value it at, I said $45. They came back and said we wouldn't sell that for less than $75. And they hadn't even seen it yet, other than pictures. So I said, okay, put 75 as the minimum. And it sold for 115, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah,
But that was charity
I
auction.
thought-
So.
I think the one that I had in for Steve's auction, the back end of last year, the one I had in for Steve's auction, I think that shot straight from nothing up to about £150.
Yes. And part of that is the maker. Everybody wants a Wayne Clasper piece. Everybody in the community wants a Wayne Clasper piece.
Rob says you have to make that choice of what rate per hour you're willing to work to.
Exactly, and the thing that a lot of people, if you have the likes of joiners, carpenters, who are working for an organisation, their hourly rate is going to be a hell of a lot less than what the actual hourly rate the company is charging. Now, remember, you're working as a one-man operation. You're working for yourself, so you've got to charge accordingly.
Right.
Yes.
Now Martin says that he works out to about 25 pounds an hour, which is a pretty good rate, I would think.
Yeah, that's usually about what I charge as well. Because the likes, if I'm asked to do a demo, in fact, I'm probably charged more than that. If I'm asked to do a demo at the club, if it's an evening demo, that tends to be a couple of hours. So I'll probably be charging maybe 75, 80 pound for that 2 hours, plus expenses. And if it's an all day one, that tends to be a 6 hour type of thing. So they sort of 10 to 4 with maybe half an hour for lunch and a couple of small tea breaks. So that tends to be sort of twice that. That'll maybe go up to around about 180, £200 for a full day.
Now Jamie says your live are for entertainment. You get better earworms. Is that a backhanded slap at us, Wayne?
No.
I think he's slapping at
No,
himself.
this is, yeah, no, that was for mine. I said my lives are for entertainment. Get better earworms. I'm quite happy with the earworms I've got, Jamie. We've got a good mix. We've got a good mix. We've got Jamie who's mental. We've got Andrew who's getting mental, and we've got Shug who isn't very classy.
My goodness. Robert has joined us from Hodgepodge Woodworks.
Hey, Hodge. Just finishing up here using the scraper.
Rob's put in cough. I was promised one. Did you not get one of the finished pieces from Harrogate, Rob?
Mick says that Rob's was stuck on the lathe at Harrogate.
No, that one went back to the company who donated the wood.
I'm still
Well,
laughing.
Rob says he's got a piece from Andrew and Pete and Wivey and none from you.
I'm sure I left a piece at Harrogate for you, Rob. I'm certain I did.
Rob left it at Harrogate.
Andrew in AGK says, I would have one of McDew's, but it won't be sanded correctly.
And
Oh, me.
Ron points out that a seasoned turner will receive more profit because he turns it faster, sands less, and faster finishing time.
Yeah, the other thing is with pricing, it really all depends on where you are. Now, I live in a rural community. There are no cities in Dumfries and Galloway. The county town, Dumfries, is basically void of any decent shops. I belong to a craft cooperative where I've got my stuff in a couple of shops, but you've got to price accordingly. If I was supplying shops in Glasgow and Edinburgh, the prices would be a lot higher.
Yeah, because they have their overhead and they're making a profit off of
Yes, exactly. And the thing you will find that, especially if you're going down the likes of maybe the gallery route, Jane has some of her jewellery in Gracefield Arts Centre, which is the local gallery. They will charge 30% commission.
Yeah.
Some places charge 60% commission. And it just gets ridiculous. So you've got to be able to charge accordingly, so you're still getting some profit back.
One of the things that has gotten under my skin just a little bit around here, these places want to charge a high commission, but then they put a tag in the contract that within 200 miles you can't sell it any cheaper.
Yes,
That bothers me a lot.
yeah. Some of the likes of Gracefield Arts Centre, they will only take pieces if you don't have anything in any other shops in Dumfries.
Now, Ben says he wouldn't recommend being self-employed because you can't swivel off. You actually have to do work. It's a scam in his opinion.
Yeah, the thing about being self-employed is that you're not just doing the work. You're doing the paperwork, you're doing the admin, you're doing the invoicing, you're filling in your tax returns, you're doing all of this.
And Rob from Copper Owl has joined us, by the way.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob. So Lucy has said she has a piece from Mark, from Brian, from Pete, Terry. The only one missing is me. God. Me.
And Liz Rob says that Liz in the office got two, one from Mark and one from Wayne.
Oh, right. Maybe that's where it went.
And Mick says he doesn't have it, Wayne. He only took sandpaper.
Yeah, that's why the stand was empty at the end.
Oh dear.
Mike's saying, how much out of the back of the van on Sauchiehall Street? Sauchiehall Street is a famous shopping street in Glasgow, and it's not spelt the way he spelt it.
Thought I got all these tool marks out with the scraper, but I didn't.
You're just coming up to 10-2, Doug.
All right.
That's looking really nice, Doug.
Thank you.
It is.
It's this pear. I like the way it works up. It cuts so nicely, sands nicely once you get to that point.
Yeah, I got some one time when I was down in Myrtle Beach, and I found it really did sand beautifully.
Yeah, yeah. Partly why I was taking my time with that scraper. I thought I was getting these marks out, but right here at the transition and up the wing, they were flexing just enough, I guess. But I did not get them all out.
As Ward points out, now would be a really good time to hit the like button, folks.
I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, pressed a little too hard on that one. Let that cool off and move on.
Now, I believe at the moment we've got around about 62 people watching.
Oh, mercy goodness. Thank you. Appreciate all of you being in today. Very light touch on this out here on these wings. And I'm also, you notice I'm turn that off so I can hear myself talk. I'm not going in flat. I'm tilting the drill up so that the leading edge is not touching any wood. It's only the trailing edge that's hitting the wood. Now out here on the wings, if you let that leading edge hit, you usually get a terrible result.
Thank you, Douglas.
Yes, Jennifer does have one of my pieces and one of yours, Wayne.
Yeah, and Douglas among them's also got one of mine as well. I'm surprised I've got anything left to sell.
I was looking at my inventory and thinking I had better start getting creative again. And then the wood mill will, as soon as I get to that point, the wood mill will call and say, "Hey, can you do this job for us?"
Yeah, and they want it yesterday.
I've just gotten a commission to do a trophy base for the British Photographic Society.
Ah. Now Ben says he's managed to up the price of his pieces by forging Wayne's signature on the bottom.
That'll be pretty cool, Ben, seeing as how I don't put a signature on the bottom of mine.
The very first place I took my work trying to sell it, they pitched a royal fit because I had not signed any of it. So I sat there in the store with a Sharpie and signed every last one of them.
And Ian in the shed just come in as well.
Hey, Ian, sitting there signing all that stuff for that lady. Turns out two things, two issues. One, after it was out for about a week, she got scared of it all and she put it all in the back room where it stayed until I finally decided I'd go pick it up because after 2 years she had not sold a single piece.
Oh God.
That's when I found out it was all in the back room. She had to go in the back room to get it. It was already boxed in the same box. It's in the same box I took it down in. So that was a little discouraging. And then I realized I misspelled on a mahogany piece. I misspelled it. So, what do you do? A little alcohol here just to clean off some of the shavings or the dust, not the shavings.
Jamie said, "Did you find Wayne's signature on Facebook?" It's the way I pronounce it. He's always on at me about that.
He's just jealous of your accent.
And Bert's Bowles has put in, what are people's opinion on signature versus laser engraved?
I prefer signature myself.
I do too. In fact, I've had a couple of customers that said, you know what I like about your work? You don't try to make it perfect on the signature. You don't stamp it, you don't laser it. No, you're right, I don't. It looks horrible. But that's what they liked about it. Turn it on for just a minute, let that alcohol
Well,
evaporate.
the nice thing about using the alcohol is that it raises the grain a bit.
It does. Especially if you're going to use abrasive paste, it works tremendously well.
Yes.
Abrasive paste then knocks it all down. I'm going to clean up this. If I don't throw it on the ground.
Yes,
Clean
yes.
up this tenant.
When Jamie says that you don't have an accent, you've got an attitude.
Yeah.
Actually, Jamie, I hate to tell you this, I think he has both. And they're both positive. I don't sign my pieces with a Sharpie or with a ballpoint pen. I always use a wood burner.
So I use a wood engraver. Actually, not even a wood engraver. It's just an engraver.
Yeah, either an engraver or a burner.
Yeah, I think that I think with some of the pieces I've sent across to the States, I used my pyrography machine to sign them with.
Yeah, that works.
You see, you were in France, were you, Wayne?
So Mike has said, I found Wayne's signature while exploring the Lascaux caves in France and looking at the paintings. Oh, cheers, Mike. Oh, God.
Oh, me. You get blamed for a lot of stuff, don't you, Wayne?
Yeah, I certainly do, yeah.
And Andy says he has a positive mental attitude. Good on you, Andy.
I was going to say, Wayne gets blamed for a lot of stuff, but Wayne, you take it so well. I think that's part of why we do that.
That's because I'm ex-army. Right, what did Jamie say there? Jamie, he's just got the Dremel. Jamie's just got the Dremel engraver to sign his, and then he's going to inlay it with mica and CA glue. Well, what's the point, Jamie? It's only going up in the loft.
Ah, Douglas, I presume you mean you would love to have one of my pieces as opposed to one of me.
I think everybody would want one of you, Ruby.
Oh, I don't think so. Message me on Messenger, Douglas. We'll see what we can do.
Right. Who was it? Andy has said that he has a positive mental attitude, and then he goes on to say he is positive that he is mental in his attitude. Jamie's saying he's putting the signature and stuff on the bottom for the date, so he knows how long it's been up in the loft.
Yeah. My pieces typically get wood spun around, the type of wood, and then the date, done simply as a 4-digit number, the month and the year. I don't worry about the day's date.
Now, Lucy, you can very easily make tree people like I make them. They are not they're not that difficult, believe me.
Get the kids to paint them.
Right.
I go back down here, you can might be able to see. Yeah, I just put these two little lines in there. That is concave. I've cleaned off this rim so it's nice and clean. Feels like I need to do a little sanding right there. I think there's a bug mark. So we'll knock that down real quick by hand.
That's
Very
why
simple to do.
I like my vacuum chuck,
Uh-huh.
because I can get right in and put whatever, if I want to use texturing on the bottom, or
Yeah.
and do the sanding all at the same time, or even put the finish on.
All right, the only thing I've got left to do is to take out that little nub right there in the center. I'll do that. I've been using my detail gouge, and I'm going to continue with that just to. Wish I had a.
So Douglas has said when they deciphered the writing in the pyramids, they found Wayne Clasper mentioned. Actually, in the hieroglyphics, you can see me using a lathe.
Interesting. I don't remember telling the guys they could do that when we were building them, Wayne.
No, neither do I, Ruby, but somebody went ahead and did it.
Probably when you and I were gone for dinner or something.
Yeah, probably. Or to whip some slaves, one of the two.
Now, Alan says that he never sold anything, as he has a daughter that comes around and says, "That looks good,
Oh,
Dad,"
me.
and it
Yeah,
disappears. Hey, it's good that your kids appreciate what you do.
I tell you what, there for a long time, my wife would look at my stuff and she'd say, "Well, that's nice." That was the end of it. Now, about
That's all
half the
Jane
time,
does. Jane
yeah.
still does
Oh,
that.
that's nice. Now, especially if I intend it for something particular, like this auction thing that I do, this Art for Hope, those are the ones she says, "You're not sending that anywhere, are you?" Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I am.
Oh, now I've got to ask Jamie. Jamie, seeing as how Jake is going to be at the Make-A-Wish car show at the weekend, is he still going to be involved in the live like he was last year?
I know last year that cost him some money. Between the internet hookup and the electric, it was quite expensive.
Now, Wayne, Ward says he checked the bowl you sent him and it has no signature. And you want to know if you'd send him one so he can put it on the bottom.
Oh God!
I let my gouge dip in and I touched it.
Now, Jamie's just answered me and has said yes, he will still be involved in the live.
Okay.
They've already. Can I just say now? Jamie told me this the other day when we were in a chat. They have already exceeded last year's amount.
By a good margin. And,
that's good.
That Saturday morning cartoons group is a great group of folks. They those auctions that Jake had, those people jumped on those pieces, and some of them went for silly money.
Yeah, I think he's, and Jamie will correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think he's over $11,000 now.
Yeah.
Now, Pete says that Lisa comes into the workshop and pinches stuff from his scrap bin. That's why he's had to put a fire pit between the workshop and the house.
Okay, Jamie has answered me, and so far it's $11,200 for Make-A-Wish. Now I don't know if the price. I don't know if the prices have actually gone up for the Make-A-Wish, but certainly last year it was $9,000 for a full Make-A-Wish thing. So they've actually gone over. Somebody is getting a full Make-A-Wish out of this.
Yes. And that's just a phenomenal thing that group has done that. And I know there have been some corporate folks who've come in and given a nice sum of money just to even things out a couple of times, and it's been phenomenal. Oh, come on. There we go. Got this nub I got to take out. So the best way I know to do that is just a simple chisel.
Yeah, Jamie saying last year it was 8,000 for a wish, and last year they raised just over 9,000.
Aren't you supposed to use your skew for that, Doug?
I've never been able to handle it that way.
That's what I've been hearing of late.
Yeah,
That's what I usually do.
that's what a lot of people do. I don't know. I'm not able to do that.
That's why I have a vacuum chuck.
Yeah, my vacuum chuck's packed in.
Oh,
I've
that's
got
too bad.
yeah.
It got flooded, Ruby.
Ah,
It was
I
one of the most expensive pieces of kit I've got in the workshop, and it was one of the ones that I forgot to put up high.
Oh goodness.
yeah, I mounted mine on a stand that's at the head of the lathe, especially for when I'm traveling, and that keeps it off the ground.
Yeah.
My vacuum chuck is a it's the vacuum pump is a vacuum. It's a shop vac, and it's all set up on my big bowl lathe that went kaput on me, and so I don't have that availability right now.
Hmm.
What I want to do, I've got a pump. I've got a normal pump, and I've got the bearing. I want to put it on this lathe so that I have it, and I'm going to set it up. The wall just to my left, just beyond the headstock, is plywood, and I want to attach everything to that plywood so it's there permanently. Um, it'd just be a great setup, but I just
Now,
haven't done it yet.
now, Doug, do you want to show folks what it is you're applying?
Do I want to show them? Well, I can.
Well, you should.
Howard's feed and wax. That's what I'm using. Um, this is kind of for this kind of thing where I can't really apply finish with it spinning. I guess I could, but it would leave a mark. I'm allergic to pain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wayne, you
I've,
always say
I've,
if you
I've
like your
been
fingers where they
becoming,
are.
yeah, I've been becoming more and more allergic to pain as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's not fun. So for things like this where there's wings on it, it either gets Howard's feed and wax or it gets something I can spray. Um, I'll take more
And
time
again,
with this.
on the same type of thing, Ronald Todd has put in. I'm surprised Doug didn't remove that nub Phil Anderson style.
I did it about 85% Phil Anderson style. It's just it was so short that I couldn't really get behind it. That's why.
Yeah.
And as you saw, it only took me one or two knocks on the end of that chisel, and it was gone. So I had it pretty thin, about as thin as I could get it. So here we are at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Looks
That's
great.
Very nice, Doug.
Leave a little bit of that tenon as the foot. It's finished off. There's no grip marks. I took those out. I'll have to come back and buff this later after this stuff dries a little bit. He's sitting there about 20 minutes, and I can come back and just buff by hand. It'll be fine. Where'd my tape measure go?
Don't know.
I've only got about 7 or 8 sitting right here, and I was looking for one particular one. Exactly 7 inches long by 5 1/4 wide, and at the high spot, it is 3 inches tall.
Very nice.
So there you go. There you go. Out of pear, which was destined for the fire pit. Actually, not even a fire pit. It's going to be just a fire out in the yard. Is what it was going to be. All the scrap that I didn't bring home, he was going to burn it in his back lot. He had a fence in the end of his backyard, and just beyond the fence was where we put all the brush, and he was just going to burn it right there in place. So
I need to go by and see if he ever did burn it. If not, I'm going to get some more. But I've
I
got a pallet.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it cuts so nice.
Yeah,
and cut-
lots of nice lots of nice comments coming through, Doug.
Well, thank you all. What? Now that I just did that, see, and going back to our pricing thing, this is not round. So how do you price it? I know what I'd price it at. So
So what would you price it at?
about $65. And if it sat there for over a month and didn't sell, I'd drop it maybe $5. And if it doesn't sell in the next 6 months, I might drop it another 5. And after that, I move locations and jump the price up. Do that perceived value deal. If it's higher price, sometimes people perceive it as more valuable.
I just leave it on my dining room table, and when my cousins come by, it would leave by itself.
There you go. There you go. Got some nice grain in it. It's not heavily pronounced.
It's got a nice soft color.
Yeah, that blotchiness there is not bad finish. That's in the wood.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's some quilting that was starting to come in right there. Don't know if it was or not. Yeah, you can see that little dark line right in there.
Yep.
That's actually where water was trying to soak in through that crack, because it's sitting outside. But it's nice and soft, and it will stay soft as time goes with it. So anyway, there it is, folks. It has been good to have you along with me today. It's always a fun time. Always a fun time. Get rid of that. Get a clean paper towel so I can wipe my hands off.
GP's just put in top tip. Visit Ruby and take things. She doesn't mind. Anybody need a lathe?
Well, let's see, Ruby, you got something like a VB36 sitting up there. It's just sitting around.
No, and I've already got somebody has dibs on my stubby, so
there you go. Yeah, mine is it's not a VB36. It's a homemade thing that I love that lathe, but it has been it's an old Reeves drive. Has about 1.5 inch belt on it. And I think it's the pulley, not the drive pulley, but the other pulley that's supposed to go in and out that actually turns the lathe. That one is not working. So
all right,
I've either got to figure that out or change it over to get rid of the Reeves drive, put a VFD on it with a bigger motor.
Yeah, do you think it might be just something very simple, is basically some dirt on the shaft?
It could be, or needing lubrication from the inside. I've tried spraying it, whatnot, from the outside. It's not helping. But I did go get a new grease gun so that I can grease it, and that it may shoot way back in that shaft and come out where it can. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then I got to find some help to figure out how to change the entire configuration, put a motor on it and a VFD, so I have true frequency drive or true electronic speed control.
Yeah.
So, anyway, good time today, folks. Appreciate all of you being in the chat. Appreciate my co-conspirators. If I get to the right page here, there we go. There, and I'll bring them in.
Oh, I like
Wayne's got short sleeves on. That means his heat's running.
T-shirt.
And now he's getting his bathroom redone to keep Jane happy now.
I've got my short sleeves on now because it's 70 degrees out. But I can tell you by tonight I'm going to have my winter coat on.
Yes.
Because it's dropping down to 21.
Get your woolies on and all those fun things, huh?
Yep.
Very good. It's supposed to get colder here. It's in the low 60s here today, but the wind's blowing like mad. And there's no sunshine. It's we're behind clouds today. So yesterday was beautiful. Today, not so. But my plans were to be right here anyway. So thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, all you folks in the chat. I've got to go back and see what Jamie said. AGK said, Jamie.
Yeah, but Jimmy said that we've got a stubby. We call him AGK.
or potato, one of the two.
Jamie
Glad to have
says
her.
that Wayne looks like Santa. He's red hot in there.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's the alcohol.
Thank you, Lucy.
Oh, mercy. All right, folks. Well, the link is already up. Couple of folks have gone to the link for next week. It ought to
Yes, there
be
was a
another
few of
good
us
time.
did.
Yeah, so we'll have a good time next week. I look forward to it. And until then, hope you're able to spin them around. Bye-bye.